Yeah, see, actually, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I didn't know the context that this clip goes, but I was like, oh, that's kind of better than the way it goes in the film, even, sort of, but then... Even shakes the hand, seems to be like...
The Dawn.
Wow.
Did you say they call me the Dawn?
I think so. I think that's meant to be a joke.
It's such a cool name.
I'm not laughing.
He has a much bigger hand than she does, is what I just noticed.
Yeah, well, she's stronger than him, and she has electrocuting powers. And I thought that what they were going to do here was that he wouldn't let go of her hand, and then she had to electrocute her, which would make more sense. Like, he's trying to, like, grab her up or whatever, but no, she just straight up...
You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
Now, Alex, you must know that reference.
Yeah. I'm not... Fuck off.
What, no smile?
Ah, men beat the fuck out. Yeah, that's it. And so the scene is kind of changed from the original.
So why did they go... Well, I don't know why they changed it. Why didn't they include that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, as Friggy just pointed out, it was like, when you're in the editing phase, you're probably like, I don't know if this is sympathetic. Like, this is a bit much.
Also, like, what if he was armed? Like, and he just shot you in the face? Like,
well,
that might happen.
He wouldn't have done shit if he did it to her, right?
Well...
I can't remember, actually.
It's just like, this is why you don't create overpowered hero.
Well, if you remember, did the bullets work on her pre-realizing she's a god?
Well, what changes between the beginning of the movie? Remember, she fell out of the ship and crashed through the blockbuster ceiling, and there were no cuts or bruises. So we got to assume that if you drove a train into her, the train would crash and like explode.
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't remembered that, you know, she's kick-ass. Yeah, but yeah, she's still immortal or whatever, close enough.
Like 6 hours ago, she fell out of the sky.
Yeah. So yeah,
kilometer.
She could probably take a 9mm. Yeah.
Certainly, once she becomes OP, nothing is going to be able to beat her at that point. Not even good old Thanos, even though he does get a punch on her. Well, I just can't believe we're in... I mean, this would be a case of Clown World, right? The idea that you view that scene and you come away from it like, hey, you know, that's okay.
Well, the person who made an offhanded verbal comment did deserve to be physically assaulted, so...
Well, in fairness, he's reviewing the one where she just steals from him, so yeah, we have to clarify that.
Oh, yeah. And in this one, it's just, he did say something to her that could be construed as maybe disrespectful in some way. So, yeah, stealing his shit does make sense.
And it's probably his, like, most expensive possession, too, potentially, other than his, like, house, if he has one.
He doesn't own his house. He's probably making payments on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, generally the car.
I want to see a movie about that guy. Imagine they made a short.
Well, you didn't know his wife died of cancer 6 months earlier, and his friends have been saying you've got to start talking to women again.
Yeah. I was gonna say, we need a short movie. Someone should make that parody. Yeah. And he's
like every time when I get out on my chopper in the desert, it just clears my head. I get to think clearly. It makes the depression go away. I can finally feel like I can start to rebuild my life as long as I have my bike and I can cruise out here. I feel like
a friend of his is like, you got to show confidence. You got to show confidence.
She's been gone a long time.
And women like it when you have a nickname too. Just make up a nickname. Women love it when you've got a nickname. And he's like, what about something dumb like the Dawn? And it's like, oh, you go with it. See what happens. Try it out. And then, like, he goes home that day and he commits fucking suicide. He's like, this is...
I was about to say, like, he goes home and cuts in the bathtub.
It's like every time I try to do something, it all just goes terribly wrong.
Every time I try to fix my life, it just goes wrong. So you don't.
That motorcycle was a gift from my wife.
I was better say the last gift he ever got was that motorcycle.
He needed it for his job or whatever, like his really low-paid, low-hour job.
A John Wick. Imagine
this I was just about to say, John Wick, yeah.
You know, so like, he's just like, like Captain Marvel's talking to Yon Rog, he's like, and you stole his car, and you stole his motorcycle, and you killed his fucking dog or some shit.
That jukebox was a gift
Captain Marvel
from
2 needs to be about him getting his revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point we're making though, like honestly, is that you have no idea what the context of that guy is, and yet you just beat the shit out of him. It's like, cool, thanks.
And what's weird too is that we've been focusing a lot on the motorcycle, but remember, she just randomly destroys somebody's jukebox.
That was another thing that, yeah, it was played off as a joke.
Yeah, it's like property destruction. Fuck it. Was there a reason for it? Were there anything at stake? Did it solve anything? No.
She also blows a hole in the top of the train without checking if there's anyone underneath.
Ah, fuck it.
She could have killed 3 people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something I didn't manage to talk about. It's like, who knows who she fucking killed when she did that?
Yeah, there's charred bodies under that hole.
That stupid jukebox scene as well. Nothing is accomplished. They need to prove to each other that neither of them are Skrulls. They don't, and then the scene ends. It's like, okay. Good stuff, guys.
Fucking woman. I don't understand. I don't understand.
We know you don't understand.
How people don't put that together.
I don't know how you put this together. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
Don't you love how, like, in Blade Runner, they had a really elaborate, sort of detailed test that they went through to determine if somebody was a replicant or not? And
yeah,
thorough and detailed and good, and like, remember when movies were good?
Yeah,
no, not anymore. It's been too long.
What year is it? What year? I feel like Jumanji. Like, what year is it?
It's like a bad trip in there.
If I'm being completely honest with you, the only way as a male that you could watch this film and be offended by its portrayal of men is if you're one of the assholes it portrays.
Okay.
If you're
wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. I don't like to generalize,
it's not the acting, it's not the script.
Can I just flip it? I'm gonna flip it. If you're upset by the portrayal of whores in Backdoor Sluts 12, it's probably because you are a whore. It's like, thanks, dude. Holy shit. Wow. This is what I mean. Like, it always feels so unfixed. It's like, if you flip this, you'd be like one of the most controversial YouTubers there is. But no, if you didn't like the way that men are all assholes and need to be beaten / defeated because of their controlling or, you know, disinterested or emotionless ways, you're one of them.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, it's because you are it.
If you don't like how media always portrays every single German in the 1940s as a Jew-hating Nazi who's a terrible, horrible person, then I've got some bad news for you. You're probably a terrible, horrible Nazi yourself.
Yeah, if the shoe fits, yeah.
Yeah, well.
But I wonder what his response would be if somebody turned around and said, but I like Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
his fucking brain would explode.
Yeah, he would be like, "You don't exist. Stop it. You don't exist."
I
want to just read that super chat ahead of time. The 10th Planet said, "The Spider-Man taught us with great power comes great responsibility. Captain America taught us that what's on the inside it makes us heroic. Captain Marvel teaches us that assault is a-okay." It's like, yeah, it's about as simple as that.
As long as it's against the men.
Yeah.
Look how friendly this guy looks. I mean, he's sinking. Got past the death of his wife.
Think about
he still wears the shades because he's a little afraid of being open and you know. Man, he saw her from a distance and he thought to himself for 20 fucking minutes, am I gonna go talk to her? Am I actually gonna do this? Come on, yeah, you're the Dawn. You could do this. You could do this. You got your bike, you got your shades, you got your jacket, you could fucking do this.
Thanks
the jacket that turned up in a package after the death of his wife. It was a special gift that she'd organised.
And then it starts playing.
Just keeps getting darker and darker.
The Dawn is the real hero.
It turns out he has like a prosthetic leg as well. Like when she electrocuted him, it damaged it, and he can't walk.
Yeah, he's a war veteran.
Yeah, and he starts having flashbacks.
He had a pacemaker that she fucked up
save people. Yeah.
He just came from like a charity shop that he was trying to organize.
Yeah, I just got back from the soup kitchen where I give food to orphans and spend time to help them develop healthy relationships so they can grow into strong young men.
And like he was actually bringing the motorcycle there because it was like someone else's, or he was going to donate it to someone who needed travel. And he was like, "Oh, someone's taking it. Oh no!"
It's like this motorcycle's. It's what Becca would have wanted, you know, for me to give this motorcycle to somebody who could really, really put it to use, so it could positively impact someone else's life.
I need to see this. I need to see this made.
I want to see this movie about a guy who gets over by a superhero.
I mean, the Don becomes he's the first Vulture.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Straight up becomes Punisher after this.
Every time I did something nice, I get shat on for.
Yeah, Bumlock just providing the chat. It's like, you know why they call it a cockpit, don't you?
Oh no!
I almost forgot about that shit line.
Hashtag not all Dons. There's some great Dons out there.
I wanted the Don to come up to me in real life and compliment me. Fuck that shit. I want that to happen. That's something I want that to happen to me.
Press F for Don.
Justice for the Don.
Don did nothing wrong, man.
The Don movie coming at 2021.
Don didn't do nothing.
Hashtag not all cockpits.
He always tells the people he helps at the homeless shelter to smile.
Tells them they're beautiful after they do it. It's like...
Yeah, for your meth-ridden mouth teeth, yeah.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that this fucking saint is being treated like
I stand with Don. I stand with Don. I gotta write it out. It's important, guys. Solidarity. I'm gonna fucking tweet that out right now.
If you identify with the character Don, then
Don
you
lives
are
matter.
sex ed.
Press F for Don.
Pray for Don.
Don lives matter.
My thoughts and prayers are with Don.
The last thing his wife said to him was, "Try to smile more."
There you go. There's the tweet. Everyone, we gotta get this message out there.
Fucking hell,
Oh my goodness.
You deserve to be like an episode of Lost.
I know. There's so much development.
There's so much backstory to unravel.
He was a good man. He was a good man. That's all. That
Hands up, Don shoot. Don, stop believing.
Scootle Royale said, "Mole, ever heard of the Bikers Against Child Abuse?" That's what Don does.
Oh my god. Who knew that this shitty fucking video would show us that Don was the real hero?
The real hero.
He's the hero at home who helps the homeless and the orphans.
We all stand with
charity.
Don was, especially after they released the extended damage to Don. You know, that's when we knew.
Oh,
what we knew.
Could you imagine, like, if Don was imagine if it was Doctor Strange there. You know, he's like, "Oh, smile." She crushes his hand. It's like, "Hey, can you having surgery?" "No, some bitch crushed my hand. So I guess you're just gonna die. Sorry."
Oh, Don.
Oh man.
One of the assholes it portrays. If you emotionally control women or tell random
always darkest before the dawn.
No.
Done but not forgotten. Done but not forgotten is so good. You know nothing, Don. No.
Oh dear.
Baby, Don hurt me. Don hurt me. No more.
Don donated his kidney to save a young girl's life, and that girl Danvers.
He's literally like the greatest human being that ever existed.
The most pure, angelic person that could ever exist. He's American Gandhi.
Don but not forgotten. Don but not forgotten. Dawn of justice. Don Hawk down.
The good, the bad, the Don.
Still Don.
Avengers Don Assemble.
It's just Don, because he's a hero of the. He can do what all the others Avengers can in one.
In Don we trust.
Don could even.
He looks so happy.
Don could have beaten her, like he could have defended himself, but he was just like, "I'll let her do
Don
this.
with the wind.
She must need this more than me."
No one's ever really done.
Because we could never measure up to the purity of Dawn.
No one's ever really done.
So I called him Don Wick.
I'm gonna die.
Okay.
In Don we trust. Jay said he's good in ways we can't comprehend.
What if Don was just a dad?
Oh no!
Oh no!
He's gonna be a dad of many, isn't he? That's the idea.
He's just trying to look after his wife tragically died of cancer. He's a single father. He has to raise his daughter.
And he actually he adopted a few kids as well. He's like, I'm a father to a lot of people, but not all biological. That's just how it works. That doesn't really change how much I love them. That's what
I want to be a father figure for all children.
Don overcame orphan love. He was like, no, orphans, I love them just as much as my
He ascended into a state of existence that few ever attain.
He is the guy. I stand with Don. I'm sorry, you guys are gonna want to see this. Give me a sec.
Oh no.
It's a Dawn-related meme.
Already, man, they work fast.
Hooray!
I mean, Beowulf would probably make a Dawn-related thing of it. That fucking post drags is great. But yeah, this is... I'm gonna read it.
What does it say?
Who's reading it? Oh.
I wish Sally was still
here to see this view, but Bob was right. I should start to talk to other women. So glad how Timmy's... He has one hell of a... He's gonna be someone. Ah, she's cute. Maybe I should try. The bitch is Tom.
I wish Sally was here to see this view.
Oh, that's so sad. This meme has more emotional weight to it than all of Captain.
Exactly. Literally 1 minute of his story.
This could have been his actual story. Like, there has to be
I could have watched this. This should be like a really good movie.
We don't deserve the Dawn. He's too good for this world.
It's fucking Jimmy pinching up. That's one.
I'm gonna grow up and be a big star, Dad. I'll make you proud. Oh, your mom will be proud too. She's looking down at us from heaven and smiling.
You know, like, after he gets his hand crushed, like, so, Dad, when are we gonna be eating dinner again? Oh, sorry, I lost my job at the sawmill because my head doesn't work. But I'll figure something out, Timmy. Don't you worry.
The doctor say it's still be a few more years until my hand heals. We can't throw a ball together anymore. It's like, not for a long time, little Timmy.
I could roll you it, and he tries, and it hits his arm. He's like, sorry, Timmy.
What about our doggy?
Oh, Dad.
We can't afford him anymore, son. We can't afford him.
It's so fucked.
He had to bring money in that
Captain
jacket.
Marvel, dude.
Yeah,
He's the core of all of it.
All right. You need a ride,
what did he do?
He nodded, so that was with commentary, I guess.
And how about a smile for me, huh?
Okay. He's
sexual harassment.
People sexual harassment, you fucking asshole.
Jesus Christ. What is with these people?
Imagine filing this with the police. It's like, I'd like to file sexual harassment. It's like, all right, can you tell me what the aggressor did? He's like, well, he called my spacesuit a scuba suit. And they're like, okay. He asked if I would like a ride. And I declined. And then he said he wanted a smile. I'm like, all right, just tell me where he sexually harassed you, ma'am.
Why?
Like, what do you talk about? But that was it.
Why is this the take? Why? Why is so many people coming away from this with this? What world are we in?
This is like the litmus test for fucking stupid people.
Do they know what sexual harassment entails?
No, these people don't know anything about sex.
Well, to be fair, we went
don't know anything about women
20
or
seconds
social
before.
life.
Yeah, no, we went 20 seconds before. We went from, he just hated women to the next bit. Whoa, sexual assault!
I can't.
Just like, God, what rating was this film? Like 15, 12?
It's like, at the beginning it says warning, harsh language and rape.
There's scenes of graphic violence and also a man sexually assaulting Carol Danvers.
I mean, that's why they cut this scene from the movie. Otherwise, it would have been rated R.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Audiences couldn't bear it. They were walking out the cinema in disgust.
In the test screenings, they were like, I'm glad she got, she managed to beat him back, but that was fucking hard to watch.
It was a struggle.
But like,
you know that iconic pinball rape scene? Oh, 2019, the iconic Carol Danvers map scene.
It just, like, we would meme about this. We would be like, oh, they're so fucking uptight that a smile would be sexual harassment or a request for one, and then they, like, unironically say it, and we're like, okay, now we have to improve our jokes, because apparently, like, they're not parody enough.
Clown World, everyone.
Unbelievable, honestly.
A smile for me, huh?
Sexual harassment.
People call me...
Wow. God.
You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle?
I'm curious how he's gonna fucking talk about this, honestly.
And in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
So that's the scene. That's what people are fighting each other about. As a guy, if I had superpowers and a dude came up to me and would be like, hey, you wanna ride? If I can shoot laser beams out of my hands, that guy would be toast.
That's because you're a psychopath.
That's because you're a fucking psycho.
Total homophobe. Come on.
yeah, that's true. That's true. A homophobic psychopath.
Look at me, boy.
I can't believe he's like okay with this. Like, if a guy walked up to me and was like, even if they were overt about it, like they were like, hey, do you want to fuck? I'd be like, I'm alright. Instead of fucking killing him.
Just to be glad he doesn't have a gun then, because he doesn't need superpowers to obliterate someone. If he doesn't like somebody saying that, he can just shoot him dead on the street if he lives in, California or wherever. I don't know, California, but...
I wish the Don would ask me for a ride.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine the stories he could tell?
I wish that I had that privilege.
I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk about some of the legal analysis that law students and lawyers go through on an everyday basis. But let's examine the clip. All right, clearly a Los Angeles strip mall. I would recognize that architecture or lack thereof anywhere.
Nice scuba suit.
Okay.
There he is in all of his glory.
There he is. There's the Don. Oh.
See, and that's a really the helmet that's protecting the shit out of him. He knows what he's doing when he buys these sorts of things.
Yeah, because he's vulnerable. He knows he's mortal. He knows and there's a lot riding on him surviving. He has to be safe for all the kids, and
Do you think that the helmet, like, he puts it on his head to mask his insecurities, and he takes it off because for the first time since the death of his wife, he wasn't insecure anymore. He was brave.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think that he just knows that he wants to set a good example for like kids, especially. You want to wear your helmet. You want to be safe.
People posted all like the in love emojis.
Ugh, I can't wait for the day that Don rides up on his motorcycle next to me and offers to take me for a ride. Fucking hell, I am jumping on that bike so goddamn fast.
Just the bike?
I mean,
well, one thing at a time. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
You need a ride, darling?
Yes, she does.
Okay, so clearly here, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, is reading a map or a newspaper. She's minding her own business.
What kind of newspapers have maps in them?
Did you say newspaper?
He's like, she's reading a map or a newspaper. He's like, it's a map.
God, he's like, a lawyer. Maybe he's trying to be careful. He's like, I better not say it's one thing when it could be another thing.
Is reading a map or a newspaper. She's minding her own business, and some guy on a motorcycle has parked his motorcycle at the strip mall, and he has made an unwanted overture. Not the most polite.
How does he know it's unwanted?
Unwanted
How
overture.
at the time does he know it's unwanted? An unwanted overture. So by this logic, anytime you engage in conversation with anybody in public, that's an unwanted overture?
And you know the idea of like someone's reading a book and you pull it down a bit just to be like, hello? It's like, that's an unwanted overture. And if you remember, Brown Table's assessment was sexual harassment, so...
I mean, if I was out in public, well, first off, I wouldn't be reading a book out in public, but if I was, and someone like tilted it down, I'd be irritated, but I wouldn't be like, you're sexually harassing me.
Yeah, I would just like if someone said that to me and I wasn't interested and I just flipped the map back, like clearly showing I'm not interested, and then he came up to me and pushed down the map a little bit with his hands, I would just like,
well, actually, I do got kind of a story I can relate it to.
Story time.
Everyone sit down.
Story time.
Everyone sit down. Story time. Legs crossed.
So a couple months ago, I was getting my tires rotated at.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're getting your tires rotated. What was his name?
You don't need to know that information. There's a few guys.
Oh, a whole crew. All the pet boys, huh?
Yeah, it was a team effort. So anyway, I was getting my tires rotated, and I was waiting to finish the tire rotation, and I was reading my book. Exactly. And I was reading my book, and
were there any rubber involved? Any rubbers involved?
Yeah, sure.
Were the rubber?
But anyway, there was this old lady who looked over, and she was like, "Do you like Stephen King?" Because it was a Stephen King book, and I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she was like, "Well, she was an old woman, so yeah, in a way." And the whole time I was like, "Can you just shut up and let me read?" So, but again, she wasn't sexually harassing me. Can you imagine if I stood up, pointed at this old woman, and I just screamed at the top of my lungs, "Sexual harassment!"
Then you hit her with the book.
Would I have been legally in my rights to do that?
I believe so. Well, let's find out, actually. I don't know.
Beat the shit out
to
of her.
do, but not illegal either. And of course, I guess I have to point out that Captain Marvel is fully within her rights to completely ignore this gentleman. And
oh, he's just reassured us that Captain Marvel is within her rights to ignore him.
Oh, wow, really?
I don't know if you guys knew that. But, yep.
I put that law degree to work, I guess.
Yep.
And not engage with him in any way, shape, or form. That is also perfectly legal.
How about a smile for me, huh?
A smile?
Yeah. I'm offering to help you. Least you could do is give me a smile.
Okay, this is the crucial act that takes place that really changes the narrative entirely. The man on the motorcycle has parked his motorcycle.
The Don, yeah.
His name is the Don.
If we're gonna be lawyers here, can we please be accurate?
He's taken his helmet off. He stood
like he mentions
that's what you do when you get off your motorcycle.
He mentions that as if it's important to the violence aspect of it. It's like he's taken his helmet off.
If he had kept the helmet on, then Captain Marvel would have been way out of line because he took his helmet off.
He acts like the world abides by the rules of SpongeBob, where all the bikers just wear their helmets everywhere they go.
The Don took his off, dude. Holy fuck.
Crazy.
Stood up, he walked over to Captain Marvel. He put his hand on the map that she was
holding.
Oh no. Is clearly right next to her. You can see that his arm
He's clearly right next to it.
Clearly right. Yeah, that's how people talk. They get next to each other.
No, they scream at each other from across the parking lot.
Yeah. Hey, how about a smile for me?
Then you just hear sexual harassment.
They're like
I will
screaming
report
at each other.
to the authorities.
Is sort of angled, which means that the distance between Captain Marvel and himself must be just a matter of inches, because it's not
a matter
like
of inches. A matter of inches. Eddie, look. First off, the distance between any 2 points is a matter of inches. No, I know what you mean without being an asshole. Don't try and warp this. I would be
Also,
like, objection, that's fucking retarded. We can see the film.
Can we pull it back to like a picture of the Don? Not just because I want to see his amazing face, but because that looks like it's a good like 2 feet or so.
Probably 3 feet.
Maybe, yeah, call it nearly
like
a meter.
1.5 feet, 2 feet. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not just like, it's not like he's in her face like an inch away.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of space.
You can safely
say
say
conversation distance.
She's at least half extended her arm, and he's half extended his arm, and they connect in the middle, which means they're a good arm's length away from each other.
And they connect in the middle.
Yeah, that's how... Did the lawyers not talk to people in the real world? That's how you go up to someone and you talk to them.
Also, the pause I've got is pretty funny. Have you guys got the same one?
I see it on the stream. Oh, we need the screen. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it on the
Don't play
screen.
it. I need to screenshot that real quick.
It's a good representation of how I feel about her movie.
Okay, I got it.
Beautiful.
On the map that she was holding and is clearly right next to her. You can see that his arm is sort of angled, which means that the distance between...
Just reminds me of, if I was sitting across from somebody talking to someone analyzed it and they were like, you have to agree, he has come here today, he came to the table quite quickly, he sat down in a fast way, straight-edged, he faced the person, and you're like, what are you saying all of this for? What does this add to? Like, why do you say it all like this? You're trying to say all of this is in favor of the idea that the dot is aggressive? Is that it? Is that where you're going?
Captain Marvel and himself must be just a matter of inches, because it's not like he was reaching out with his hand in an extended fashion. He's reaching out his hand in a way that makes it seem like the map is directly in front of him. And
the map is directly in front of him. That is true.
Almost like it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand that point at all.
You reach hard. It's literally right in front of him. You see it in every single shot, whether it's from her perspective or his. This
Also,
dude is a lawyer.
You guys, your avatars are both looking at me now.
We're just like, hey, Mahler.
I'm sorry, I'll pick Rags over here.
What you doing after Eve?
Hell yeah, of course you'll pick me. I'm freshly showered.
Crucially, he makes
and
contact
freshly
with
sugared.
the map that Captain Marvel is holding, pulls it down, and says something that might be interpreted as a threat. How about a smile?
That's interpretable as a threat.
How is that a threat?
Well,
what is the threat of being done? Smiling? How is that bad?
Would it be that she could argue that she felt that he was going to do something to her if she didn't smile? Is that the argument?
Well, then what would be the implication?
I don't know. This is the thing. If someone said, like...
What would he do? What would he do? Like, treat her to a nice dinner, give her some money,
But let's say you're walking out of the room.
Women reparations.
If you were walking out of the room and I went, Wolf, where you going? Someone could be like, ooh, that sounded like a threat.
Oh wow! Are you asking me a question?
But if I
Are you
said
asking me to do something,
I was gonna say, if I said
information about my personal life.
Hey Wolf, where you going? Someone would be like, that's kind of a threat. And then if I went, hey Wolf, whoa, where you going, man? I was like, no, how could you? And the way he asks
Are
it,
you saying that would he ask? Is that like a personal attack or something?
Yes, and this is the thing. We get to assume we have this as video evidence, by the way, because his whole case is made up of the idea that we see all of this. So.
Yeah, like we're a witness, like the
So if you have a jury and they're supposed to decide whether or not what he just said is a threat, I think it would be quite the fucking stretch. But then I realized when I was thinking about that, I was like, what if people like Brown Table were in the jury? They'd be like, yeah, this was sexual harassment. And then the other jurors would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Be like, oh.
What if all the other jurors are the same? What if, like, that's the world we're heading toward? We're asking someone to smile will land you in, like, 6 years jail.
Also, yeah, someone said in chat, she did look at the Dawn first. She gave him the eye, the male gaze.
That's true.
Just like Bree is giving you the female.
That's true.
Just like Rags is giving you the doggo gaze.
For me. This guy is not a particularly nice guy.
How do you conclude that?
Dare you?
How do you conclude that?
How fucking dare you?
Okay.
You worthless piece of garbage.
Name me one thing that he did that isn't nice. I mean, granted, if I'm looking at this objectively, not memeing, obviously. The whole, like, she clearly didn't want to talk to him and he pulls down the newspaper, right? Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be pretty irritated with him, too. But there's nothing he did that was, like, horrible by any stretch.
Yeah, it's not like a very, like, this is something that anybody could do. He could be a saint, and he is. But he could be a saint and do this, and it's not like the pearly gates are getting shut for him or anything.
Don't get it.
It's like he just asked her to smile. He asked if she needed a ride anywhere.
Literally offered to help her.
Yeah, but he said it in an aggressive, evil way. But yeah, he's not a nice guy. We've concluded this now.
And crucially here, he has invaded Captain Marvel's space. This is a crucial distinction that we'll talk about in just a second. Because in my opinion, I think that
your opinion is incorrect.
Definition of assault and battery.
You're kidding.
Wow.
In your opinion, her threatening to rip his arm off and twisting his hand to the point that he can't move is not assault and battery.
Wolf, because I skipped through this.
I guess
he's going to justify that.
Yeah, of course he will. He would also justify O.J. Simpson. You know, people did that too. It doesn't make.
He would justify Daenerys Targaryen and Luke Skywalker.
It's like imagine Captain Marvel goes to court and wants to put this man through court. It's a assault and battery, and he's like, "I touched her map, Your Honor." That's not a euphemism.
This is the thing.
I touched her map a little bit.
He might be able to argue it semantically, which we will check out for sure if he can. But legally, in like a court with a jury, they would never swallow this shit. They would be like, "How the fuck is that assault and battery?"
Yeah, assault and battery. Fucking hell, man.
But yeah, well, he does get into the terminology, so we'll have to check it out.
I'm offering to help you. Least you could do is give me a smile.
So his hand has left the map. He is still standing very close to her, but it appears that his arms are at his.
It's not exactly that much closer than like a cashier and a customer.
Yeah, like if you brush hands with someone while you're giving them your credit card, or if you go up to someone, you just pat him on the shoulder, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" or something like that. It's like it's such a brief. He pushes it down for a second and then he retreats his hand. His intentions are obvious and clear. He just wanted to move the map out of the way to make eye contact with her.
Someone in chat said the children's screams can be seen as a threat. Daenerys was justified.
Hey, I mean, if you see a bunch of people on fire running for you, that could be seen as very...
Oh, they're trying to set me on fire.
I mean, granted, you were the one that started the fire, but, you know, if they're running towards you, it could be like, well, gotta set them on fire even more. Oh my god, this person is stupid.
Yeah.
Side, and Captain Marvel has taken the map, put it to the side, and she's about to confront this man.
How about a handshake?
It was so polite.
I love that little handshake.
Look at that.
He's so on board with it.
It's literally a polite. There's nothing you could even misconstrue it as, other than just like being like, okay.
And she was the one who instigated. He consented. It was wonderful.
It can't be stressed enough. He's happy to get the handshake. He smiles. He's like, oh, handshake.
I love to think that if this scene continued and she didn't electrocute him, he'd be like, where are you going? Like, so, and maybe he offers her a ride. Just that simple. I want to see the movie. I know we've been over this before, but I want to see it now.
What if Captain Marvel said, you know, I'm actually in a relationship right now, but I really do actually need a ride. Could you take me to, you know, spot X? I would really, really appreciate that. The Dawn would be like, absolutely.
He would.
Even though I know that, you know, you're not on the market, I would absolutely take you to position X where you need to go. Jesus, man. Because he's out to ride anyway. That's what he's out riding. He's got his jacket. He's got his helmet, his goggles. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. He's out to ride. At least have some company. Man, oh. Dawn is love. I agree, chat.
I'm Veers.
Dawn is life.
People call me
the Dawn.
Wow.
And then he tries to pull his hand back. He's done.
Look at that. He's so confused. He's like, why would this be happening? I was having a good time.
Yeah. He's like, he's done with the handshake. He's the one who tries to pull away. He's like, the handshake's over. She said her name. I've said my name. I am pulling back the handshake. I'm no longer going to be touching her because she offered me this handshake. She offered me the handshake, and I am done with the handshake, and I'm pulling back. Oh, this makes me so angry.
I'm sorry. Someone said the Dawn is in a relationship with God. He wasn't even hitting on.
And he gives rides to orphans regularly, apparently. So
there's a Jesus in every smile.
The Dawn is basically the same character that Rob Williams played in August Rush. He like takes care of all the orphans in the home.
There's not really a limit to his goodness, you know.
That was Robin Williams, right? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
All right, so they both engage in what could be considered
a consensual handshake.
At which
Oh, it was. Thank God.
Yeah, you could consider it a consensual handshake, considering she said, "How about a handshake?" and then extends her hand for a handshake. And he said, "Oh yeah," and then he also takes her hand. What the fuck? You could consider that consensual.
It could be merely considered.
And I guess electrocute this guy. I actually didn't see the movie, so I don't know exactly what her powers are. But he's
God,
clearly...
just think about God and change nothing. She has God powers from space.
At which point, Captain Marvel then begins to squeeze and, I guess, electrocute this guy. I actually didn't see the movie, so I don't know.
You didn't see the movie?
You don't have to see the movie.
Let me highlight why it's important.
The context you need is here.
I was gonna say, well, it's still important that he hasn't seen the movie, especially for a legal case, because this is not a human being we're talking about. It's an alien god. You would know this if it was a legal case, because if you could get her into a court, which is going to be pretty unlikely.
Oh my God! Someone said the Don used to play the guitar for the orphans. Used to.
Oh.
Then she ruined his hand, and now he can't play the guitar anymore. Now the poor orphans will never be able to hear the music he produces. She ruined his life.
I don't understand how you... is he aware that she's like a super powerful god, or no? Because that would be relevant in the court case, right? Just like how...
I mean, you would...
You can't hurt... Like, he's not even physically capable of hurting her?
Tiny little bit of research, like the bare minimum of... You need to establish people's power levels and potentials for these kinds of scenarios. Like, if a child attacks you as an adult, then obviously you have incredible power over the child, and it can't really hurt you, but you could do anything to the kid. So and that obviously is going to play in the legality of it.
This is where the jury comes in as well, because if the kid slapped you on your leg and then you kicked them, and they were like, I'm literally talking like 3 foot right now, you kick them in the chest and they fling across the room and they get permanent like organ damage or something. Lawyer's like, it's self-defense. He was slapped on the back of the leg.
Yeah, I get slapped on the back
and the
of
jury
leg.
would be like, that's hilarious. You're wrong. You can't possibly...
Like, I just swore you tried.
Pain as a result of this grip that Captain Marvel has put on.
World scenarios you can compare this to, like if she had a gun and she used that gun.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, fucking shoot him. 3 in the chest.
I mean, it's only reasonable.
6 to the back of the head. Suicide.
He's clearly in pain as a result of this grip that Captain Marvel has put on in this handshake.
Here's a proposition for you. You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return...
Also, we're halfway through this.
He's trying to pull back.
I hope he's... Because there's no defense for his stealing his shit, surely, because that's not even relevant to whether or not it was self-defense. Unless you make an argument like she was trying to run away from him. As he literally flees into the store looking for help.
Extortion. Let me look up extortion real quick. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. She's literally committing extortion right now.
Oh, definitely. She's framing it as, I'm allowing you to purchase your life.
Well, she's like, I give me your shit, or I will physically hurt you.
What, no smile?
Okay, so why do I think that this may qualify as assault and battery? Well, battery is a criminal offense involving the unlawful physical contact or touching of another.
So is what he did fair under this definition?
I don't think so. I think because we have enough precedents in society, I think any lawyer, anybody, any normal person would say, if we're going to use this definition for battery without applying anything contextual to it, then every time you come into contact with somebody else, that's battery. What? You bought something at the cashier store and you brushed their hand while giving them your credit card? That's battery. What? You bumped into somebody accidentally when you're waiting in line someplace? That's battery. Someone taps you on the shoulder to say hello, or that's battery. I mean, it's...
Well, I'm curious, this is the thing. If we're really allowed to do this, like, if I poked Rags and he was in a mood with me, like, I literally just poked him, could he actually accuse me of battery?
Like, that's ridiculous. That'd be... Like, you can't just make contact with somebody. I mean, battery is a criminal offense involving the unlawful physical contact of another person. He didn't even
considered
touch
harmful.
her. I guess.
But look at that, considered offensive.
Also, it's very important to note that because I took that enhanced concealed carry license class about a week ago. You are not allowed. Now, this will vary by state to state, I think, to some degree. But here in Arkansas, you cannot use your handgun. You can't use the threat of deadly force to defend your property.
Mm-hmm.
So even if somebody is the law as it currently stands in my state, so pets, if someone is beating the shit out of your dog, you can't legally shoot them. If someone is killing your chattel,
really, you can't?
You can't. No, you can't.
Motherfucker, if someone's beating my dog, I'm face.
Yeah, well, yeah.
After the battle, the Don retrieved his motorcycle from Captain Marvel's corpse, and he drove the EFAP crew on a tour of his many children's hospitals, cancer and AIDS curing facilities, drug addict rehabilitation center, and his climate change prevention complex. They then visited Becky's grave, where they ate pizza and played Fallout 76. They drove his motorcycle through Brown Table's birthday party while he screamed sexual harassment. He died 2 days later of the big gay.
Big gay. I like how Brown Table's birthday party is like a meme too.
I want that to continue.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A wonderful story.
My birthday.
Blow up everything in his house. He's like, that's sexual harassment. Carol, she just doesn't look good in these memes. She's not looking great, you know?
Nah.
Doesn't help that she's got that disgusting lesbian hair.
I think this is, the KOTOR meme.
The Don's downfall.
There are dark places in the galaxy where few tread, ancient centers of learning, of knowledge, but I did not walk alone. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best. But my will was not law. There were disagreements, ambition.
About smile.
Is that like a personal attack?
And hunger for power.
She is effectively the victim of being battered by this guy. It's the motorcycle guy who initiates force.
There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense.
Under almost any conception of morality, once someone has initiated force against you, you are privileged enough to use the defense of force against that person.
How about a handshake?
No! Let him go! The editing is really good.
Yeah, I know. Like, the way that they've masked everything
I
up.
was cast down, stripped of my power, exiled. I suffered indignities and fell into...
People in chat genuinely like, no, Don, no!
St. Don's Braille library for the deaf burned down later that day because Don could not operate his fire truck correctly due to his broken hand. When pressed for comment, Legal Eagle reportedly stated that the arsonist was acting in self-defense as one of the deaf children had made light contact with his jacket, and thus was endowed with the privilege to act with a justifiable amount of force. Many deaf orphans died that day, not being able to hear the roaring flames approaching them as they appreciated the choice of reading in memory of the deaf. Oh my god.
Oh man.
This shit goes deeper than I ever could have imagined.